My father walked out of my life. Now he is back and wants to walk me down the aisle. Am I wrong for telling him a capital No? Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you. I was 5 when my father walked out on us. I don't remember the fight, I just remember the silence afterward. The sound of the door slamming. My mother's face at the window. And then, nothing. We struggled. Mom worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3. We ate noodles for dinner more nights than I can count. Christmas gifts were second-hand toys from kind neighbors. But Mom never complained. She just kept going. And then, when I was 7, Mark showed up. I still remember the first time Mark knocked on our door. I peeked out from behind Mom's legs, skinny, shy, clutching my doll. He brought pizza. And flowers. And he smiled at me like I mattered. Mom didn't let him in easily, she'd been burned once already. But Mark was patient. He'd sit on the porch with a cup of coffee, sometimes for hours, waiting for her to talk. When he finally stepped inside, he brought warmth with him. Laughter. Safety. And a quiet promise, I'm not going anywhere. At first, I called him Mark. Then Uncle Mark. Then, one day, by accident, Dad. I was 10. I'd scraped my knee riding my bike. He ran outside, scooped me up, wiped the blood away. I looked up at him through tears and whimpered, Dad, it hurts. He didn't correct me. He just hugged me tighter. Mark taught me how to ride a bike without training wheels. He came to every school play, every open house, every dance recital, camera in hand, cheering the loudest. He worked overtime to pay for my braces. He stayed up with me through college applications. When I got accepted, he was the first person I called. He cried, I laughed at him for it, but he didn't care. He's the reason I made it this far. The reason I know what a good man looks like. Then, at 25, I met Liam. Smart, gentle, funny, the kind of man who opens your door, listens when you're tired, and holds you when you're falling apart. Mark loved him immediately. Mom, too. At Christmas, Liam pulled Mark aside and asked for my hand. Mark laughed, clapped him on the back, and said, I'd be honored to give her away. I said yes. We set a date. We booked the venue. Everything felt perfect. Until he showed up. I hadn't heard my father's name in years. Then one night, my phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. A voice I almost didn't recognize either, hey, kiddo. He said he'd been thinking about me. Said he'd made mistakes. Said he wanted to be there for my wedding. I froze. The little girl inside me wanted to scream, where were you? Where were you at my recitals? At my graduation? When Mom cried herself to sleep. But all I said was, why now? And he just sighed, because I'm still your dad. He drove 8 hours to see me. Showed up with a cheap box of chocolates, like I was still 5. Sat across from me at my kitchen table. Sadder. I didn't feel pity, just emptiness. He asked if he could walk me down the aisle. Said it would mean the world, that he'd dreamed of that moment for years. I just sat there, nodding, smiling politely, while my heart twisted. Because the truth is, I do have a father. And he never left. I told him no, calmly and respectfully. I said, I'm sorry, but Mark is my dad. He raised me. He's the one walking me down the aisle. But I made sure to tell him he was welcome to the wedding, which was more than he deserved. My birth father's face crumpled. He called me ungrateful. Said I was punishing him for the past, that I should move on. He stormed out like he did all those years ago, except this time, I didn't run after him. That night, I lay awake. Was I being cruel? Should I give him that moment? A photo for his mantle, a memory to brag about to strangers he calls friends? But then I pictured Mark. Sitting in the front row at every milestone. Sacrificing vacations, sleep, comfort, just to keep me fed, happy, whole. And I knew. Blood might make you a father, but love makes you a dad. On my wedding day, Mark stood beside me. His hands trembled as he straightened my veil. His eyes were red when he whispered, you look beautiful, kid. As the music started, he held out his arm. I took it without hesitation. Step by step, we walked toward the life I'd always dreamed of, the life he made possible. I caught a glimpse of my birth father in the back row. He looked away when our eyes met. Part of me hurt for him, for what he threw away. But mostly, I felt peace. He left. Mark stayed. That's all there is. So, am I being unreasonable or just making a stupid decision? I'd love to hear your opinion. Please leave them in the comments below.